reset.
Yeah, that's the first
Well,
one.
like, why am I 107?
Questions for Coach Busboom Kelly?
Coach, what was the most encouraging thing that you saw from some of the younger players today?
Just their confidence, and that, when they got the ball, usually something positive happened. And if it didn't, then their body language and their communication was still really mature for freshmen, or Virginia, who's not a typical freshman, but she's still is, she's new here. So just really impressed with their overall maturity and confidence.
Did you get what you wanted to out of today?
Sure. Of course, it'd be nice to walk away from here and be like, oh, this was obvious. So-and-so should start, or, this person played great under pressure. But we wanted to have a lot of even teams and have a competitive game. And, we did that. And we saw some players step up in big moments, which was great. But it also showed a few things we have to work on, and that hopefully will be better in the alumni match next week.
What are you adjusting next week's practices for based off of today, or what are those things you need to work on?
I don't know if we'll adjust a ton, but it will be a lot more serving and passing. I do think we are a very good serve and pass team. I think that's the toughest thing to do when you're nervous and when there's a lot of pressure. So I thought that showed a little bit today. So we'll do a little more serve and pass, and we got a lot of firepower, so we need to work on that so we can get everybody the ball, and probably a little more blocking.
What did you think of your setter play today?
It's really good overall. I thought both Campbell and Bergen were solid and played great. They both served great, played great defense. So they're both studs. I've been saying it all year. I truly believe we have the best setter group in the country.
Rebekah said that she felt this was a team debut of who they're going to be this year. Is there anything you feel like they showed that is maybe new from what the fans saw in the two spring matches a couple months ago?
I don't think so. Nothing new. Our middles hit for really high percentages, all four of them, and we got them the ball quite a bit. So, that was great, and that was, I think, what fans noticed the most in the spring. So I thought we continued that over. I thought the setters pushed the tempo maybe a little bit more than we did even in the spring, and our hitters were adjusting really well.
Is that consistency from a coach's point of view a good thing from months back to now? Or
For sure. And setters can get really tentative when they're nervous, and these setters didn't. They were firing the ball everywhere, and I thought that's a great sign of confidence and trust in their teammates.
I think both teams hit below 200. I mean, is that a sign that the defense is really good, or they're taking a little more risks now trying to figure out what the offense is?
Yeah, both. I think our defense is very good, but we were taking risks. And, Harper was hitting like 400, and she hit 2 balls out in a row, but they were hard. We're challenging our team to, rip it, not tip it. So whether it's in or out right now, I want them to get comfortable going after it.
Dani, can you talk about that moment when Rebekah receives Lift of the Year, just her reaction and why she was so deserving of an award like that?
I didn't really know how that worked here, but it's a player vote award, which makes it even more special. I think that made it mean even more to Rebekah. And coaches aren't allowed to be in summer lifts, so I hadn't seen her or even heard from the strength coach, who was doing better, who wasn't. And I just knew this preseason she was at another level. And I think her competitive spirit is where it needs to be. And to see that get rewarded, and of course it's a lifting award, but still a vote, to see that get, awarded by her teammates is pretty special. And this means a lot to her. And her senior year, I know she wants this to be her best year, and just as a player, but also as a teammate. So I'm really excited for her. I knew she was going to be very, very excited about that.
Sticking with Rebekah, just how did you feel that she played today?
I thought she was the player of the game, and we were kind of joking in the locker room. She had the most attempts. That's because we overpassed and overdug so many balls. But I'm like, kudos for her for killing all those. So I just thought she was super aggressive. She was communicating at the end. I think everybody was tired and like, oh, maybe it's time to go home. And the only person I could hear on the court was Rebekah, and so just impressive day for her.
How do you feel like your liberos played today?
No, they both played great. Really good. Passed well, dug a lot of balls. Yeah, they were very solid.
Is that pretty representative of what you've seen over the first week or two of practice?
Yeah, they're both, neck and neck every day. So you can probably flip a coin, but, it's going to be a lot about who can command the court and, who makes the little plays look easy.
Time for a couple more.
What did you see out of Manaia and Kenna today as two freshmen who weren't there in the spring getting their first real action in front of fans at the game?
Yeah, super impressive. And Kenna, it's unique because she was a really late commit for us, and she knows that we were kind of teetering. Do we want to force middle? Do we not? Is she the right one? And we decided to pull a trigger, and she took a risk knowing she was going to come here with 3 middles that we were really comfortable with, and she's just been so good in practice. She's that player, you look at the stats every day and you're like, wow, Kenna did amazing. So she's just a quiet killer. She's going to get the ball and do something great with it, and I thought she was fantastic today.
Going back to your setters again, what's going to be the biggest factor in your mind as to one of them standing out?
Probably leadership, and who wins the most. It's going to be difficult.
For your leadership, do you have a schedule for when you're going to select captains?
No, probably soon, either right before the alumni match or right after.
Saw some good stuff, some not so good stuff from Virginia. You mentioned before just her adjusting to life here in college volleyball. How much of a patience factor needs to be there with her as she goes through that process?
Well, I think like any player, you want to give them patience, or any new player, for them to adjust. But as a coach, you have to do what's best for the team. And if there's somebody else, that's right there with her, they're going to get a chance too. But I thought Virginia had some great stuff and some things that aren't working great, and she's doing those in practice. So this film would be great for her to kind of really see where she can improve, because she's a smart volleyball player and she can make adjustments quickly, and she takes coaching very well.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Thank you.